Yeah, it is a journey in a way, but, you know, I learned a lot on the Bond movies, and one of them was to not be afraid of scale, and also not to be afraid of genre movies in a way. It was a great education, and sitting in the writer's room for Bond movies and watching something be made from nothing, you know, that gave me the courage also to write the script, from which I've never done before. I've never written a script of my own. And so, in a way, Bond was formative in making this film. This movie is about two men carrying a message. It was influenced, it was inspired by my grandfather, who fought in the First World War, and told me the stories when I was a little boy. And they always stayed with me, those stories. But really, the First World War was a war of paralysis. You know, they didn't move very much. They were stuck in those trenches for years. But there was this one moment in 1917 when the Germans withdrew to the Hindenburg Line. They created a new line, 10 miles deeper. And suddenly, overnight, the British had no enemy at all. They weren't sure whether they'd withdrawn, retreated, or surrendered. So that's why 1917, because it's very much the specific moment in 1917. But really, it's not just about the First World War. I mean, it's a First World War movie, but it's not a historical document. It's not a documentary. You don't need to know anything about the First World War to be able to understand and enjoy the movie. You know, it's really about other things. It's about you know, brotherhood and home and the love between two friends, and those things, you know, are played out against the backdrop of something vast and panoramic. Gosh, what a very interesting question. I think that, well, for my children, it's all different times depending on how old they are. But in my life, I suppose 20 years ago was a pivotal moment in my life, which is when I made my first movie, and I suppose I felt I learned more about the world. And so that would be 1999. That movie would be 1999, which was also, by the way, a great year for movies generally.